You have been taught to chase motivation the way a thirsty man chases a shimmering pool in the desert, convinced that if you could just feel ready, everything in your life would finally move. But the truth is far colder, more ancient, and more honest. Motivation is a mirage bright from afar, empty up close. It flickers, it dances, it whispers promises it never intended to keep. You reach for it with trembling hands, only to feel nothing but hot air slipping through your fingers. And yet, you keep returning to it, hoping that one day this soft, unreliable ghost will suddenly give you the backbone of a warrior. It never will. Because motivation was never forged to withstand darkness. The moment the night grows heavy, it abandons you. It thrives in comfort, fades in chaos, and dies the second life demands something real from you. Modern man has become addicted to waiting for his emotions to align, believing he must feel powerful before he moves. He scrolls through noise, hunting for sparks, unaware that sparks do nothing against a storm. He does not see that his dependency is the cage that every day he waits for motivation to return, as another day he remains unarmed on the battlefield of his own becoming. Musashi would have laughed at such dependence. He did not wait for readiness. He acted because action was the only path a man could trust. Necessity drove him, not emotion. The ancient warrior understood something we have forgotten. If you require motivation to begin, you will require it forever, and forever you will remain weak. Motivation is a cloud, beautiful, unreachable, dissolving the moment you try to grasp it. But pain is the ground beneath your feet, solid, unmoving, brutally honest. And until you stop chasing clouds and learn to stand on the earth of your own suffering, you will never rise into the man you were meant to become. Pain has no interest in deceiving you. It does not flatter, it does not soothe, it does not soften its message for your comfort. It arrives like an old master stepping into the training hall silent, uninvited, but carrying a truth sharper than any blade. Pain speaks the first language of growth, a dialect older than fear, older than ambition, older even than your name. Before you ever understood success, you understood pain. Before you ever chased a dream, you felt its cost pressing on your ribs. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the earliest mentor you ever had. Musashi's bones were carved by hardship. Every duel, every lonely night, every scar etched into his skin was another lesson delivered by this unwavering master. Pain pressed him, shaped him, stripped away the softness that could not survive a real battle. It revealed what was weak in him without shame, without apology. It forced him to confront the parts of himself that begged for protection, that crawled toward comfort. In that confrontation, he discovered the truth. What resists pain remains fragile. What accepts pain becomes carved from something unbreakable. But the modern world has grown allergic to discomfort. Today's man avoids pain as though it were poison, building a life padded with distraction and indulgence. He wants transformation without sacrifice, discipline without struggle, mastery without scars. He has forgotten the simple iron law of every warrior age. If the fire does not touch you, it cannot forge you. Pain is the blacksmith's fire, the heat that makes steel surrender its impurities. It is harsh, yes, but honest. Unlike motivation's wheat, soft, fleeting pain never disguises its purpose. It shows you exactly where you are weak. It reveals what must die within you. It exposes the illusions you cling to, the comforts you hide behind, the excuses you protect more fiercely than your potential. Pain is the master that never lies, and until you bow your head to its lessons, you will remain unshaped, untested, untempered, a blade that looks sharp but shatters at the first strike. There is a kind of growth modern eyes never witness, because it refuses the stage and shuns applause. It happens in the quiet, in the cold, in the unseen corners of a man's life. Musashi understood this sacred territory well. While the world slept, he trained. While others boasted, he sharpened. While crowds looked for heroes to admire, he became one in solitude. where no one could praise him, and no one could save him from himself. Your struggle is meant to be the same. There is a difference between wanting glory and wanting mastery, between performing ambition publicly and suffering for it privately. The modern world has convinced you that progress should be loud, shared, validated. But true transformation is mute. It speaks through repetition that nobody witnesses, through discipline that nobody applauds, through small daily deaths you choose without posting for approval. Pain thrives in silence, because silence strips away every illusion. Without noise, you can no longer pretend. There is no audience to impress, no identity to curate, no mask to maintain. Only your weaknesses, your cravings, your failures, your potential. This is why the warrior trains alone, because solitude reveals everything distraction hides. A tree does not grow by showing its roots. Its strength comes from what no eye sees, from the depths where the soil is heavy and unforgiving. Your life is no different. The hours that feel unnoticed, the nights where you grit your teeth and push through the ache, these are the moments in which your character thickens. These are the hours that determine whether you remain the same or rise into something worthy of respect. Pain transforms you in the quiet. Far from validation, it demands that you become a man who does not need to be seen in order to grow. It teaches you that suffering is sacred, that repetition is holy, that the warrior forged in silence will always outlast the man who performs for noise. There comes a moment in every man's life when he must decide whether he will cling to the comfortable version of himself or step willingly into the furnace that will destroy it. Pain is not punishment, it is purification. It tears away the parts of you that cannot walk with you into the life you claim to desire. The habits that have kept you stagnant, the beliefs that have chained you to mediocrity. The illusions you've wrapped yourself in for safety. Pain burns them with a ruthless devotion to your evolution. Musashi understood the necessity of self-imposed hardship. He lived rough, traveled light, thought sharp. He stripped away the excess long before life could take it from him. This was not asceticism for show, was a deliberate refining of the self. A warrior who fears discomfort cannot trust his own strength. So, Musashi entered the furnace willingly, letting it melt away his softer selves, the ones that trembled, doubted, hesitated. Modern man wants transformation without this destruction. He dreams of being strong while protecting every comfort that keeps him weak. He wants the armor of discipline without paying its price in sweat and solitude. He wants the sharpened edge without ever facing the grindstone. But steel that avoids the fire remains brittle. It bends under pressure. It fractures under stress. It carries the appearance of strength but the interior of fragility. The furnace of pain exposes you. It shows you what was never real in you, every excuse, every fragile identity, every layer of softness that adulthood demands you shed. The heat feels personal, but it is simply the nature of becoming. The child within you must fall away. The weaker self must die screaming. The illusions you cling to for comfort must be reduced to ash. Pain is the fire that lesser metals cannot endure. But if you are willing to stand inside it, if you allow it to strip you bare and burn you clean, you will emerge as something that no comfort could ever forge. Someone real, someone tempered, someone capable of meeting life without trembling. There is a shift that happens deep within a man, often without ceremony, often without witnesses. When pain, the thing he once feared, becomes the compass he trusts. At first, pain feels like an adversary, an unwelcome force pressing against your ambitions, slowing your progress, demanding a toll you resent paying. But over time, something unexpected occurs. You begin to notice that pain never misleads you. It does not distract. It does not seduce. It does not lie. Wherever pain appears, it points directly toward the part of your life that matters most. Musashi walked toward difficulty as if it were a doorway, not a deterrent. He understood that the path worth walking is always marked by resistance. Ease is the road of stagnation. Avoidance is the path of decay. Only pain clarifies. Only pain illuminates. It becomes a torch in the dark corridors of your potential, revealing what you fear to face and showing you precisely where your growth is hiding. Modern man avoids the very things that would save him. He crafts excuses with the precision of an artisan. He worships comfort like a quiet religion. He walks around challenges, rationalizing weakness as self-care, mistaking fear for intuition. In this way, he drifts further from his own strength, believing he is protecting himself while actually abandoning himself. But when pain becomes your purpose, everything changes. You stop waiting for the moment to feel right. You stop expecting life to make room for your dreams. You stop running from the difficult things that are trying to carve your character. Instead, you begin following the smoke back to the fire, trusting that the discomfort is revealing the place where transformation is closest. Pain becomes a guide, not a tyrant, not a punishment, not a curse. A guide pointing unshakably toward the man you are meant to rise into. The path you fear most is the path that calls you, and when you begin to walk toward what burns, rather than away from it, you reclaim the power you thought the world had taken from you. Musashi believed a man must die many times before he truly lives, not a physical death, but a symbolic one, the repeated shedding of the selves that cling to weakness, fear, and hesitation. Pain is the corridor through which these deaths occur. It forces you into the narrow hallways of your own evolution, where the old self thrashes, pleads, bargains, and ultimately collapses so a stronger self can rise in its place. There is an internal duel every man must face, not against an enemy outside, but against the version of himself that refuses to grow. This opponent knows your fears intimately. It whispers comfort when discipline is required. It begs for ease when effort is demanded. It clings to identity, to nostalgia, to the idea that staying the same is somehow safer than becoming more. Pain confronts this opponent without mercy, cornering it, exposing it, breaking it until it can no longer rule your decisions. Modern comfort fights desperately to preserve this weaker self. It tells you that pain is unnecessary, that struggle is outdated, that life should be smooth and effortless if you are in alignment. But a man who avoids pain is not aligned, he is asleep. Strength is born from renewal, and renewal requires the death of what no longer deserves to live. The snake sheds its skin not because it wants to, but because staying inside it would kill it. Your old life, your old habits, your old excuses, they become too tight. Pain stretches you, tears you open, forces you out of the confines of who you once were. And though the process feels violent, it is essential. Pain kills who you were so discipline can resurrect who you must become. This death is not a tragedy. It is an initiation. The weaker self falls, so the warrior within you can finally stand. There is a moment when the warrior no longer hesitates at the doorway of suffering. He steps forward, not because he enjoys the sting, but because he trusts it. Pain is no longer a warning, it is a signal that he is exactly where he needs to be. Musashi lived by a simple principle. Step forward, even if it burns. For the warrior, action is not negotiable. Emotion is irrelevant. Comfort is insignificant. Only the path matters, and the path is carved through resistance, not around it. Modern man waits. He waits for motivation, for clarity, for confidence, for the stars to align before he takes a single step. But waiting is the slowest form of death. It drains a man quietly, year after year, until his potential becomes a ghost, haunting the life he never lived. You are not meant to wait. You are meant to move. The path ahead will not soften for you. It will not bend to your preferences. It will not greet you with a warm welcome. It will greet you with cold winds, sharp stones, and the echo of your own doubts. But when you embrace the storm, instead of seeking shelter from it, you discover that pain is carving you clean. It scrapes away the unnecessary. It refines your purpose. It reveals the strength you've been too distracted to meet. There is a storm, every man must walk into. The weak curse it, the timid avoid it, but the warrior steps into it with steady breath, knowing the wind will sand away every lie he ever told himself. Pain does not hinder your journey, it guides it. It becomes the new North Star. Unwavering.com, indifferent to emotion, yet devoted to truth. So walk, without hesitation, without waiting for motivation to return, like a lost traveler. Let pain sit beside you, like the ancient, unblinking guide it has always been. Let it shape your steps. Let it steady your hand. Let it teach you how to rise without being asked, because in the end, you never needed motivation. You needed the fire that molds warriors. You needed the pain that teaches men how to live.